Okay, I'm not going to ask you why you would want to host a repo on uh, Nostr using the git-on-nostr tool. I'm just going to assume that you do. This is going to be a very brief introduction to how the tool works. We're not going to do any standard enterprise Git workflows or with feature branches and things like that. We're just going to fix a very minor bug in the README, post it to Git, and see how it comes down in a cloned repo. So our problem today is that our README, we already did some help sections in the, we already coded up the help. So we know it works, but the README still says that we need to do it. So we're just going to change the README. Easy, right? So let's do that. Open preview. Let's find what we got. Help. Yep, we need to check that off. And we did that pretty much the first thing. So we'll put it up here. You can see what's coming up. Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to quickly run through and make sure there's no white line. We were getting some end of white space at the end of line errors. And I don't have my pre-commit hook set up properly yet. This is about a 2-week-old project. In earnest, started about a month ago, maybe more. Well, good enough for me. Save that. Oh, you know what? We didn't do an issue, so let's do a bug for that, even though we've already completed the work. Git-on-nostr issue bug. I don't know that that's a bug. Let's make that a update. All right, so we've made an issue. Let's see if it went up to Nostr. Git Nostr issues. You can see we've already got some, but that issue went up there. We've got an issue ID here. So git status. We're going to commit our change. So we're going to say what we did. And we're going to put a issue ID in here so that we can run a report on this a little bit down the road. There's no reports yet, but that's what we plan to do. So now we're going to try to exit Vim. This is going to take a couple tries probably. Quit. Nope, that didn't work. Escape, colon, WQ, and we're out of Vim. That if you needed a lesson in this video, that was it. So what we've done is we've committed to our local repo. So that's in the Git log. There's a commit ID there. We added a checkbox to the help. You can close the issue. Now, if we go over to this other repo that's been cloned earlier before the video started, we can see that that doesn't exist. New command called clones, and there's one additional. Yeah, you can see the difference here. So let's quit this. What we need to do now is publish this commit up to the git-on-nostr hosted part of this repo. Git-on-nostr publish our commit ID, and that'll give us a message that basically what that does is takes the content of the patch that was the commit, it chunkifies it if it's a big commit, converts it to base 64, and creates one or more messages up on git-on-nostr relays so that other people can access it. So now, if we do a git-on-nostr list, this will actually go out to nostr relays and fetch our repo. And as you can see, the last thing in the list is add checkbox to help task. So we know it made it up there. Now we're going to do a git-on-nostr pull. When you do before we do the pull, when we do this list, basically what this is a map of the ID of the message, the nostr message, so that you can delete it or do it, different shenanigans that you want. And it links it to the commit ID. All of these commits are sorted so that as you look at an entire repo, you can kind of have a little bit more intelligent management. If you're applying like sections of more than multiple patches, you need to be able to sort it. There's some instances where you need to do that, and that's why it's pretty darn slow and a quick description for human readability. So we're going to go over to this other clone directory where we've already cloned it. We've got basically the same setup. We're going to do a git-on-nostr pull and that commit ID that we just published. We didn't push it, we published it. That looks pretty nice. And now we can do, this is in addition to being a cloned repo, I've got this set up to point to a GitHub repo. So all the check-ins that we do for this project go up to GitHub eventually after they've already been through the git-on-nostr version. Git push. So let's go over to the repo that's on GitHub. Add checkbox to help task. It says we just did it. Date seems to come through okay. Et voila. Please go to the git-on-nostr repo and click the star. We need more of these.